Well, so today we'll start with the topic EVPI and the decision tree. So whatever data we have got, we will represent it in a decision tree. So let us start with the strategies. There are different types of strategies based on the the different type of pessimistic and optimistic strategy, different types of optimism and pessimistic method. So there are three types of strategy. One is maximean strategy, maximax strategy, and minimax regret strategy. So from the previous data, let us try to understand what is a maxi-mean strategy. Maxi-mean strategy is that strategy which maximizes the minimum gain. Maxi-max strategy which maximizes the maximum gain. Generally, the optimistic people, they always try to maximize the gain. Whatever be the gain, they will try to maximize the maximum of the gains. And minimax regret strategy, these are some pessimistic strategy. Pessimistic investor use this sort of strategy, which is called minimax regret strategy. So let us come to our data and try to understand that which one is the different types of strategy. So if we see in this table, from payoff table, both this maximean and maximax strategy will come. Now maximean, so if we see the minimum outcome or the minimum payoffs, and among the minimum payoffs are $1,000, 1100 and 1150 in the payoff table. So out of the minimum, they will choose the maximum. So that's why it is called the maxi-mean. So his outcome, the for maxi-mean strategy will be $1150. Now, if a person is very optimistic, whatever be the gain, he will try to optimize. So max, maximum of the maximum. So if you see this payoff table, the out of the maximum gains, so the maximum gains are 2400, 2200 and 1900. Out of this, he will choose the maximum, which is 2400. That means the maximax strategy is to choose the Kaiser chemicals. Now vis-a-vis, if we go by the opportunity loss table, then what are the opportunity loss? If we see the lowest, the three maximum regrets are 150, 200 and 500. So out of this, he will choose the minimum, that means $150. That means he will choose the Kaiser chemical. So this is all regarding maximean, maximax and minimax strategy. Now we will discuss a very important concept which is called EVPI. It is expected value of perfect information. Now let us understand what is the definition. It's the difference between the expected payoff in the given state of nature with the optimal decision under the conditions of uncertainty. So what actually we are doing, it is a difference. So now let us come to the formula so that we can understand. EVPI, it is expected value under conditions of certainty. Now if the investor knows that with certainty whether the market will rise or whether the market will decline, he certainly knows. That means he is 100% sure. But as you know, as we know that the stock market is very uncertain. We don't know whether the market is going to be bullish or bearish in the next day, next month or next year. So it is very uncertain. That's why we use probabilistic calculation. So it is minus the expected value under conditions of uncertainty. That means EVPI, if we talk, EVPI is the simple difference between expected value under conditions of certainty minus the expected value under conditions of uncertainty. That means we have to first calculate expected value under conditions of certainty, and we have to calculate expected value under conditions of uncertainty, and we will have to subtract, and this is called, the difference is called the expected value of perfect information. That means if the state of nature is known, if the perfect information about the state of nature is known, then what is the money that he is going to save? So that will be the difference of two. So let us first discuss the expected value under certainty. Now if we go to the data and see that in case of market rise, if the investor is 100% sure that the market is going to rise, then he will buy Kaiser Chemicals stock because that is the highest payoff. And if he is 100% sure that the market is going to decline, he will buy Texas Electronics stock. So, and the payoff is 1150. And with the given, just like we calculated the payoff, that is EMV, we calculated the expected payoff for EMV. If we apply our previous formula, and then we can calculate the, so it will be 0.6 into 2400 plus 0.4 into 1150. So, and we add it up, then we get $1900. That means $1900 is the expected value under certainty. That means if the investor is certain that the market is going to rise. This already we have discussed, but just I will discuss once again. So compute the expected value under uncertainty. So if the market is uncertain, we have already calculated. So if you see, we calculated that, then in that case, what is our expected payoff? The first one, 2400 into 0.6 plus $1000 into 0.4. This summation gives up to $1840. So in case of uncertainty, when the market is diagnosed with probabilistic calculation, that means 60% the chance that there will be bullish market and 40% is the chance that the market will be bearish, then we get this $1840. So this is the expected value under uncertainty. Now if we subtract $1900, which is expected value of stock purchased under condition of certainty, from this expected value of purchase under conditions of uncertainty, so we get the expected value of perfect information, that is $60. That means if they can pay $60, the investor can pay $60, then he is going to know what is going to happen in the market. Now let us move to decision tree. It's a very important concept. Decision trees are useful for structuring various alternatives in the decision theory. They present a picture of the various courses of action and the possible states of nature. So in our case, there are only two states of nature, bullish market and bearish market. They present a picture of the various courses of action. So Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. In our case, which stock to choose. Now a decision tree is a picture of all the possible courses of action and the consequent possible outcomes. So generally how it is represented graphically or say pictorially. What is the pictorial view? So a box is used to indicate the point at which a decision must be made. That means in a decision tree, whenever we put a box, that means at that point the decision maker will make some decision. So branches will come out from the box. These branches are one of the decisions that he has to take. Out of suppose 3, out of 4, out of 2, he has to take 1. So this is a box. The branches going out from the box indicate the alternatives under consideration. So what are the alternatives? Which stock to choose? Which path to follow? So all this will be given, and a circle will denote the state of nature. That means market rise or market drop. Now we have represented our problem in a decision tree. This is the representation of our decision tree. So if you just try to follow, see it from the left to right. While we draw a decision tree, we go from left to right. But when we calculate, we go from right to left. So if we go from left to right, first there is a box. That means a decision has to be made. What decision? Whether to buy. Number one decision is whether to buy Kaiser stock. Number two decision is whether to buy Ream Homes stock, or number three, whether to buy Texas stock. So these are the three options. Options means these are the three alternatives before the decision maker. And for each alternative, there will be two states of nature, as we have already seen, that market may rise or the market may drop. So the probability of market rise is 60% in the first case, and market drop is 40%. Obviously, this percentage, this probability will be same in the first case, in the second case, and the third case also. So in the second case, for the buy Ream Home, there is a market rise, 60% chance that the market will rise, 40% chance that the market will drop. In case of Texas Electronics, there is 60% chance that market will rise and market will drop, there is 40% chance. Now, if we can calculate the EMV, just we have calculated, then we have to go from right to left. That means for each decision, we can calculate the EMV, right? So for the first one, if we calculate the EMV, it is coming 1840. So 2400 into 0.6 plus 1000 into 0.4. So this is giving $1840. That means Kaiser Chemical, the ROI or the profit or the return that the investor is going to get is $1840. Next, for Ream Home, if we calculate from this side, from right side, so $2200 multiplied by 0.6 plus 0.4 into 1100, so $1760 is the return. So for the second branch, you can see that Ream Home, the return is coming $1760, and for the third branch, 1900 into 0.6 plus 0.4 into 1150, where 1900 is the, if the market rise, then this is the return. So we get $1600. Now let us compare all the three EMVs for Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Now if we compare all these three, for Kaiser, the ROI is $1840. For Ream Home, it is $1760, and for Texas, it is $1600. So in this case, we will take the highest. So in EMV, in expected monetary value, we take the highest of the returns, and in expected opportunity loss, we take the lowest. Obviously, some will like to, any investor will like to maximize their profit, and any investor they will like to minimize their loss. So this is a EMV concept. Already we have discussed. Now from EMV concept, so out of these three alternatives, he will be choosing the Kaiser Chemicals. So this is how we represent a data in the form of a decision tree. So whenever a payoff table, we get a payoff table, we can convert that payoff table into a decision trees, this sort of decision tree, where the box will represent the decision making and the circle will represent the state of nature, whatever possible the state of nature. It can be three types of states of nature. Here we have shown two types of nature. So that's all about decision tree.